What up, YouTube? We back again, back at it again. I heard this song by this cat named Yella Beezy on the radio. I'm back at it again, so that's gonna be my intro now. Back at it again. All right, what's happening with you? It's your man back in the building again, the Gypsy Chucky B. All right. So today, Patriots hat. All right. And I'm gonna start this thing called I'm gonna call it GOAT Talk, which is greatest of all time in each sport. I'm gonna try to talk about the greatest of all time in each sport um, as each day as we go. So like basketball, that should be a good one because a lot of people have different goats. But I'm gonna talk about each position, and I really think that. Um, it depends on the era that you saw because you see a lot of people just a sample, but a lot of people talk about like greatest running backs of all time. And so the people that saw Jim Brown say it was Jim Brown. The people that saw Walter Payton say it was Walter Payton. The people that saw like OJ, they might say OJ. So I think it really depends on the era. Like just like in boxing, the people in Floyd Mayweather's area, because he was undefeated, think that Floyd Mayweather was the greatest in boxing. People in Ali's era say Ali. Some people say Rocky Marciano. Some people say Joe Louis. So it should be interesting conversation. All right, let's get it going. All right, first things first. My man Zion Williams. Zion, you're gonna stay in the news. You know that now, right? But I think he has a personality to handle it, though. I think he'll be fine. Good, really seems like a really good kid. I don't know him, haven't met him, but seems like a really good kid. I think he was at a soccer game over at Duke one night. I was over there, but there was so many people harassing him. I didn't want to go over there and be one of the kids. But anyway, Zion Williams has surpassed LeBron with the biggest rookie shoe deal in history. And I think that as long as he comes in, like I said, he come in about 260, 265, somebody going to be in trouble because that guy, if he can keep his weight down, he should be a real problem for teams in the NBA. And he has to work on his shot. But the biggest thing for him is keep his weight down. Keep your weight down, and be careful in New Orleans because the food is delicious in New Orleans. So I'm sure you've heard this before, but be careful. But he surpassed LeBron, and could he be the next? Could he be the next thing? LeBron came out. LeBron was the next deal. Like I said yesterday, I thought that Jordan Brand did a great thing by signing Zion because they needed a new young face, to revitalize the brand, reinvent the brand or however you want to say it. Because you had Russell Westbrook is 30, Chris Paul is 30, Carmelo's not in the league right now, so the Jordan Brand needs something. Jordan Brand has moved on into football. Like I said, before they got Carolina and they've got Michigan, but congratulations to Zion on becoming getting the biggest rookie shoe deal. Staying with the basketball topic, the Clippers introduced Kawhi and Paul George yesterday. Steve Ballmer was pumped up. Now it better work. It better work because Steve Ballmer was fired up, yelling and screaming and pumped up. I think it will work. Because like you watch the interview, you watch the press conference, and the dudes, both of them seem so humble. Kawhi seems like a very humble guy. Paul George, like he said, he's not a guy that comes in with an ego. He wants to be a part of something special. And for these two guys to go to the Clippers, if they can bring a championship to the Clippers, do you know what that would mean? Because I played in LA for the Lakers. LA is a Laker town, period. The Raiders came there before and had to leave. Now they've got football back with the Chargers and the Rams, but LA is a Laker town. And the Chargers and the Rams, let you know, you better win. Because you better win. The Lakers were losing last year, and it was still hard to get tickets to those games. So for the Chargers and the Rams, long as they winning, people come out. But LA is a Laker town, and probably a USC football town too. So that formula right there with Kawhi and Paul George, I think it will work. They've got a nice bench, nice deep bench. They got guys like Patrick Beverly. They got Lou Williams. You got Montrezl Harrell. You got guys that's going to work. So they're going to be a hard working team, which, that's probably 75% of the battle to get guys to work hard every night. And they got guys that are going to work hard every night. All right, I'm going to jump off to something else right now. All right. The U.S. men's national team, all right, they have risen in the world. They were 30th, ranked 30th in the world. Now they're 22nd. They jumped 8 spots up when these rankings came out. Okay. I think that's a good thing for the U.S. men because the U.S. women have gotten a lot of attention and the pay scales have been compared. So it's time for the U.S. men. If you're a male soccer player for the men's national team and you see, the women talking about their pay and basically, not that they're saying this, but some people are saying that the men don't deserve the money that they get. So now as an athlete, as a former athlete myself, the worst thing you could do to an athlete is provide motivation. So now the U.S. men's national team, they have that motivation to show, like, all right, y'all think we're not worth our money? Let's go ahead and show that we're worth our money. So good luck to them. Yo, keep doing it because the women have set the bar high. They've set it really high, So a lot of people watch the women and know pretty much, most of the roster, So now it's time for the men to get their name out there and also get known. All right. Next thing, my man Mark Sanchez retired from the NFL after 10 seasons and is going to the booth, college football. I'm always happy for like former players, football players, basketball players, hockey, baseball, whatever it is, former players getting an opportunity to continue in that sport, doing something. Because, what people don't realize is that, okay, put it like this. I am 51 years old, right? I have been around basketball for 38 years. I've done it. So I've done I've done basketball or been around basketball more than I haven't been around basketball. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I see that a former player gets that opportunity and I think it's great, just with a little schooling on, because former players know the game. Most of them know the game. So he probably just need a little help with the delivery, which would be cool. You go through the training or whatever because I'm sure he can talk football. Like Tony Romo. Tony Romo got high praises last season because when he was doing games, he was actually calling the plays that the team was about to run like he was in the huddle. So people were just losing it, going crazy, talking about how great he was. And Tony Romo did a great job. I think Troy Aikman does a great job, in the booth. So I expect Mark Sanchez to do the same. I think Booker McFarland does a great job. I think Jason Witten knows what he's talking about, but probably needed probably needs a little more or needed a little more like coaching. Like actors have an acting coach. You know what I'm saying? So he knew the game. There's no question about it. Jason Witten knew the game, but it was just like how he delivered it. Because myself, I do commentating myself, and one of the things I was always told as a basketball commentator is that you have to tell why something happened. So that I had people telling me, so you have to get coached in that. The color guy does one thing, but then you're the guy that has to tell the why. So good luck to Mark Sanchez. Do your thing, man. We'll be watching you. All right, a question I have just to ask, period. Are championships overrated? You know what I'm saying? Do championships make a guy, like this great player? Okay, for example, Robert Horry got 7 rings. Is Robert Horry better than Karl Malone? Karl Malone don't have any championships. You understand what I'm saying? So, and me personally, I think Karl Malone is one of the greatest players to play the game. One of the greatest power forwards, if not the best power forward. He's right there with Tim Duncan. But the difference between Tim and Tim Duncan is he got rings. Tim Duncan has rings. I'm sorry. Okay, I have a championship ring. Am I better than Charles Barkley? Charles Barkley don't have a ring. No, I mean I'm not gonna be foolish and say I am. Come on, man. Charles Barkley one of the all-time greats. Now I would never back down. Playing against him, but I knew what I was going up against. So my question is: are championships overrated? Do people put too much on championships? You know, I think in a team sport, championships are overrated. In a team sport, I think so. I think when you're talking about like boxing, or you're talking about golf or tennis, no, championships are not overrated because they're out there on by themselves. They're by themselves. So in a team sport, it's a little different. But in golf and all that, like Tiger Woods go out there and Arnold Palmer and them cats, they doing something special. Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, boxing. They, Venus and Serena, Steffi Graf, all of them, Billie Jean King, they go out there by themselves and win a championship. That's totally different. But in a team sport, I think championships might be overrated. When you put it on this just one guy. Because like I said, Robert Horry got 7 championship rings. But is he an all-time great at his position? You know what I'm saying? So, you have to think about that. Think about that. All right. Last but not least, what will the NBA owners do about the power that the NBA players have? I just talked about this a couple of days ago. So now what the deal is, okay, Steve Kerr was a little upset about Anthony Davis forcing his way out of New Orleans and forcing his way to the Lakers, all right? Now, I happen to love the power that the NBA players have. What can the owners do about it? Because if a player says that he wants out, if he says he wants out and you keep him there, and he's one of your main guys, you risk your whole season because if he really wants to be a jerk, he can mess up the whole locker room. Everything. The coach will have it bad. So I think it's best that if a guy asks you to get out, get him out because you don't want people around you that don't want to be around you. Is my thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody around me that don't want to be around me. I don't want nobody on my team that doesn't want to be on my team. If you don't want to be here, all right, we'll find somewhere else to go. Find somewhere else to send you. Now, years ago, what they would do now, they wouldn't trade you to the same conference though, because conference games they see you 4 or 5 times. So now New Orleans sending them to the Lakers. Now they got to play him 4 times. You know what I'm saying? You got to play against Anthony Davis 4 times. And then maybe playoffs too. So years ago they would send you away. I think Portland sent Clyde to Houston because that was sending Clyde home. That was sort of I think that was sort of a saying thank you for your service because Clyde had helped get Portland to the finals. He had given probably about 11 years, I think it was, to the Trailblazers. So that's a little different. He was a little older. Anthony Davis is still a young guy. I think he's about 25. So you're gonna have to see him a lot. And I think Steve Kerr, was unhappy about that. He forced himself out. But I mean, like I said, I love the players having the power that they have. Maybe it's because I didn't have that kind of power. So I love what the power that they have. And, as long as the players take care of the league, man, as a former guy, I'm not really one that liked the super team thing or that they called the super team, but it's been going on for years. It's been going on where, 2 guys may get together and pair up and then you fill in the spots around them. It was like that when I played in Houston. We had Dream and Clyde and then we filled in the spots around them, what I'm saying, really good guys. But I don't know what the NBA player owners are going to be able to do because if a guy wants out, you gotta let them go. You gotta move them, and nowadays, from what I hear, guys may come with a list of teams that they want to play for. Um, and I mean, it's only right that you let them out, because it can be really miserable for the players that are there. Like they talk about the Jimmy Butler situation in Minnesota. He wanted out, and he basically forced his way out of there, and forced his way into Philly. So, um, I don't have a problem with it. But what can the owners do? And I don't think the owners can do much other than, you know, ship them somewhere where they don't want to go. And if they do that, will they go? Will the player go there and play? Or you can just say, you know what, I'm not trading you. You're gonna have to play. But then, a guy may say his hamstring hurt, may not want to play. So I don't think as much the owners can do. And Steve Kerr being upset about it, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's a different time now. It used to be where, you get, our mentality coming up back in the day was, you sign your contract, you play your contract out, and then if you want out, you move on. Nowadays it's like, look, I don't like what's going on. Get me out of here now, ASAP. So I don't have a problem with it. And I really don't think as much the owners can do. So, hey, that's my time. Shout out to all the subscribers. Like I said, drop a like, dislike, leave something in the comments if you have something. If you have a suggestion where I can get better, holla at your boy. But shout out to the loyal subscribers, and shout out to those that watch and check me out every day. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Like I said, I'm having a good time doing this thing, and I will continue to bring you content. All right, we're gonna stay on the grind. All right, this your man, Chucky Brown, the Gypsy, and I'm signing out. Remember, be nice, make somebody smile. Life is short. Peace.